So thank you very much for joining me for episode 8 of A Walk in the Park. And I'm here in Pinecraft Park where I've just, this wonderful freedom and this time to just commune with nature and just walk through her. And every day I think of another topic to talk about, and I think that we need to address and talk through. And today, as I was watching the interwebs and see what's going on, a huge discussion right now is this whole border wall. Some people may cringe that I say it or even want to talk about it, but the fact is right now it has a portion of our government shut down. And there are people in America who are forced to work for free, which basically means we have people who were employees of the federal government and they are now slaves. And they have to keep doing their jobs. They can't stop doing it, and they're not going to get paid for it. And that to me is not good. So I'd like to see the government get back to work, I suppose, even though I don't have a lot of faith or trust or allegiance to the federal government, but that's a discussion for another time. Right now I want to discuss the wall, because obviously it was something that Mr. Trump put out there in his campaign, got people very excited about making a wall, a big old thing, big old monumental thing, and he said that the Mexicans were going to pay for it. Obviously, the Mexicans are never going to pay for that wall, ever. And so, he came in here and now he's demanding that the American government pay for this wall, which could be in excess of $25 billion. I mean, the single most expensive piece of infrastructure in the history of the world. I mean, it'll cost more to build this wall than it costs to create the Great Wall of China. And the Great Wall of China, you can walk on it and stuff, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. This is, now it's just going to be a fence with metal pieces and stuff. So obviously I think it's a ridiculously stupid idea for many, many reasons. I understand why some people want it, but I don't think that you wanting the wall makes you a good American. I know that you think it's a good idea to protect us from illegal immigrants, because that idea has been placed in your head so many times by both Democrats and Republicans in the Monetary Party, and as well as people on the television who are supposed to feed you those ideas and make you afraid of other people. But I'm not a huge fan of our national anthem, the whole Star Spangled Banner thing, because it is a battle cry thing. But those last two lines is land of the free and home of the brave. I love that sentiment that America was once thought of as that. I mean, as far as land of the free now, we have the highest incarceration rate of any industrialized nation on the planet. So we can't really call ourselves land of the free anymore, because we lock each other up in ridiculous rates. So we can't do that. And by being so afraid of brown people, so afraid of Mexicans coming here and bringing their drugs and rapists and all these other fears that Mr. Trump and the media have stirred up, we can't call ourselves brave. It's pure cowardice. And so, if you're one of those people who wants the wall, I'm really sorry that if this offends you, but I think you're a coward. And I want you to really reconsider what it really means to be an American and to be brave again, and do whatever you can to find some courage in your heart before you waste so many billions of dollars on this ridiculous thing that won't work, instead of investing that into our own country, into the people of America, into the infrastructure of America, because there are so many things we could invest that money into that would do a much better job of providing what it is we're actually looking for. Now, in the first go-around, a lot of us right now, we're struggling because our economy is getting turned upside down. We're moving from a time when we were able to trust the corporations we would work for to take care of us our whole lives and give us a retirement plan and that kind of thing. And fewer of us are able to do that. And so we're trying to find the little jobs to pay our way around. And so a lot of us have been led to believe that the Mexicans are coming and taking our jobs away. And the jobs that they're doing aren't things that most Americans want to do. Whether you're white or black or even Asian, you don't really want to do a lot of these jobs. And so, you know, we don't have a lot of people lining up to go pick blueberries and the other jobs that they do, working in the kitchen and doing cleanup and hard labor. So, one, those jobs aren't really yours because you're not going to do them anyway. Secondly, if you really look at the economics of it, okay, and look at the actual numbers, the facts, the statistics, where last year 82% of the profit that was created in America went to 1% of the population. Okay, 82% went to 1%. And I know that the Occupy movement spoke that very loudly and clearly about the 1%, but it's one of those things that it's still there. It's still a real thing. And so if you're looking for the Mexicans who are coming in and looking at them for taking all of the money, you're looking in the wrong place, and you're being guided to look in the wrong place. You're being programmed to look in the wrong place. The place you need to look at is at the top, because that rich 1% that pretty much owns the Democratic and Republican parties are taking most of the money, and they're hoarding it, and they're sitting on it, and they can see the people around it could use it if it were a currency, but unfortunately they don't care. They have succumbed to the greatest mental illness that humanity has ever known, that of greed. And we continue to venerate that, and we continue to put it out there as if that's a good thing, it's a virtue. That's the hardwired thing of capitalism that's been put in there that Adam Smith kind of snuck in, was that the selfishness is a good quality. And if someone looks out for their own initiatives and endeavors and their own whatever they want, then that'll lift all boats, basically. And it'll help people around them. And there is some merit to that. But you've got to put a cap on that somewhere. You can't continue to allow people to be just so ridiculously selfish that they force everyone else into suffering, into poverty. So that's what we really got to think. And this year, I hope we can do more to tear down walls than build them up. I think that will be a year well spent if we can start tearing them down. Because, I mean, this wall is not going to do what anyone thinks it's going to do. Most of the immigrants that come here come by plane. They can come by boat. They can dig tunnels. They can do ladders. You know, there's a lot of common sense things that just point out, yeah, this isn't going to work. And plus, it's going to cage you in. And Reagan, when he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall, that was heroic. That was what America was about. And now we want to build one? It's pathetic to me. So I understand there's some people with differing opinions, and I understand some of those opinions have been given to them. But I ask you to rethink this. And I ask you, if you're an American, search your heart. And if you're wanting that wall to be built, ask if you're building it because you're brave and because you're free, or because you want to stop the flow of freedom and you're cowardly, because that's the way that it seems. So, in summation, I think we can put that money and that energy into a lot of much better things that can provide for the well-being for a lot more people. But as it is now, our system is designed to only help that 1% of people. And it certainly is true that if this wall were to be made, the people that own the companies that will build the wall are going to make out like bandits. They're going to make so much money, and they're going to like that a lot. And so there's some of them that want to see it made, but they don't care about you. They're not building it to protect you from anything. They're building it just to make money. So rethink your plan here. The wall's not going to do anything but stop discussions on actual solutions to the problem. And I think we should discuss actual solutions to the actual problems, not the ones that have been manufactured for us. So if you agree, share this. Comment on it. If you disagree, comment on it as well. Shoot, go ahead and share it too. Either way, have a good day. I will talk to you next year.